Alright guys, so today I thought I'd make a video on my flak helmet collection, my World War II flak helmet collection. As you see here, I've got 3 so far, but I'm always looking for more to add to my collection. I love the way these things look and everything and the history behind them. And like I said, I've always got my eye out, to add more of these to my collection if I can find them, for a good price, which I seem to do that with a lot of the things in my collection, but so I just want to put this video together for you. There was starting when Americans got involved in World War II, we were using the model 1917 A1 Kelly helmet, which, was modeled after the model 1917 World War I Doughboy helmet. And then, starting in 1942, we got into the M1 helmet, which most of us are familiar with. And, those different changes and stuff made. Then you got into the M2 paratrooper helmet, the D-Bell helmet, and then eventually it was made known that the guys on the bombers, the airmen, were needing more protection, from flak, from the enemy, being fired at from the ground and even from other enemy planes and stuff. They needed some kind of protection, so the military started coming up with ideas and prototypes of helmets for the airmen, and these are some of them right here. The first one here I've got, actually this one right here and this one are the exact same model. They're both called an M3, and they were both made by McCord, which McCord made almost all of the M1 helmets except for about 2 million Schluter made. But so they got the ear flaps here, which are hinged, with metal. Unfortunately, this one here does not have any of the webbing inside. Also, there'll be a round felt disc here, on both insides of the ear flaps, and that would be for your headsets, to kind of give you some cushion from your headsets that would be on top of your head. Unfortunately, no chin strap also. But I was excited, when I saw this, and the guy worked with me on the price. He was wanting $125, I believe it was, but I talked him down, got it for $75, which I actually got it at a flea market, and I think that was a good deal, because really only somewhere around 213,000 M3 helmets were made during World War II, and they started being made. They started making them in 1942, and they were made until 1943. So, these are just 2 of 213,000, which sounds like a lot, but that's really not that big of a number compared to, like the M1 helmet made, 22 million were made of those, so these are somewhat desirable, and they're kind of uncommon. They're not super rare, but they're uncommon. But I think I did pretty good for $75 on there. The guys also would have had a flak vest and goggles and all this different other things to protect them, the rest of their body as well, not just their head. Like I said, I wish it was in a little bit better condition, but the outside doesn't look bad. It displays very nicely, so I'm happy with it. It did good. And as I said, this one right here is also an M3. This one is in better condition. I got this one also for $75, and I got this one about 2 months after I got the first one, and this one, like I said, $75 also. I got it at an estate sale not far from here, and take a look at this. The inside is just amazing. It looks almost unissued. The webbing here just looks, it's just unreal how awesome it looks. See, here's one of the felt disc pads here, but unfortunately the other one here has fallen off, over time. But like I said, this thing is just in great condition. This is definitely worth $75, probably more. It's also got a laundry number in here, J8180, which I believe I tried to look that up in the past. I might have to do that again and see if I can maybe find the airman that wore this thing. That would be really awesome. But so for both of these, I'm $75 a piece. This one's definitely worth that, probably more. This one, I may have slightly overpaid for it. I don't think so. I think that's about a fair price for the condition it's in, because like I said, these can go for $150, $200 if they're in great condition and complete and everything. But I just had to have them, and I got them, and I'm happy. They display very well. And then, like I said, these are the M3s. After the M3s, there was different prototypes and alterations made. And you got the M4, which there was an American version and a British version, a little bit different from each other. And after the M4, which I don't have one of those, came this M4A2. That's actually the back of it here. And this one, see, it's got the cloth cover on it. And the ear flaps, unlike the M3s here, they're not hinged with metal. They're just the fabric here that's sewed in there. These are just steel ear muffs that are just loose inside of here, except for the stitching, the cloth stitching that attaches it. And these right here, these sit up higher on your forehead, and the reason for that is to, so you have plenty of room for the big goggles that you'd be wearing. And also on the back here, you got these little keeper things, which helps with the goggle straps. These right here, helps them strap into the back of your helmet, make it more comfortable for you. Another thing about this one is, well, you see this one I got here, I paid $61 for this. It was $49 plus $12 shipping on eBay. But I'm not really happy about the condition of it, which, I mean, I saw in the pictures how it looked. See, the ear cloth is coming loose there and on this other side as well. 61, like I said, that might not be too bad, I guess, but I wouldn't have given any more than that. Maybe one day I'll find a better example, but you see, the M4A2s, they didn't have any of the webbing like, the other ones did. This just sat right on top of your head directly, or your skull cap, your leather skull cap that you'll be wearing also. Like I said, those are just different modifications and prototypes and changes made here and there. It would have had a leather chin strap, which you see I got just little bitty pieces of it left, but $61 on that, not too bad, I don't guess. After the M4A2, like I said, they were always playing around with different changes here and there and everything. And I was going to tell you, somewhere around 86,000 of the M4A2s and the M4s were made during World War II, from 1944 to 1945. So like I said, these are about 213,000 made. These and the M4 is about 86,000. After these came the M5, which I'm really on the hunt for. I really want to add to my collection. The M5 it was another steel helmet with the ear flaps, with the steel hinged. The only thing is the ear flaps were different. They came more like a dog ear. They came down to a point instead of being rounded right here. And they had the webbing and everything in there. And like I said, I'm really looking for one of those. They were starting to be made in late 44, but they really didn't get big into service until 1945. And somewhere around 100,000 of the M5s were made by the end of World War II. And like I said, I'm definitely on the lookout for one. I see them on eBay from time to time, but I'm not going to pay $150, $200. I don't mean to be cheap, but some prices that things go for, I think, are just outrageous. But I know I'll add one to my collection one day. But anyways, just want to put this video together for you. I try to be as informative as I can. There might be things that I miss here or there. But definitely get on Google, if you're interested in these, or really with anything. There's a lot of information on Google and Wikipedia. Just spend the time. And a lot of times, if I don't know anything, I kind of research and make notes and everything, because I want to not stutter and stumble too much with my words when I make my videos. I want them to be informative, educational, and for y'all to like them. But anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for your support. A lot more videos to come. I know I've been saying that, and I've been trying to put out more and more. I just got to prepare more for some of the other ones. But anyways, a lot of good things coming your way. As always, thank you so much.